Hello viewers, welcome to May-June 2015 WAEC, also known as WASSCE, Past Questions and Detailed Solution, General Mathematics / Mathematics Core, Paper 1, Objective Test, Questions 1 to 50. The solution to these 50 questions is contained in this video. Question 1. If you open a curly bracket S such that 2 is less than equal to S less than 18, where S is an integer and 7 plus S is equal to 4 modulo 9, find the highest value of S. Here you must be careful with the range. The given symbol of inequality simply means that we are considering from 2 to 17. In order to solve this modular equation using the given interval, you simply look for the highest value of S to be added to 7, so that when you divide it by 9, the remainder is 4. In modular arithmetic, we are only interested in the remainder. Alright, now I'm going to start from 18 downward, but because of the range, we are starting from 17 because S is less than 18. So we add 17 to 7 and divide it by 9 to see if the remainder is 4 or not. So 7 plus 17 is 24. Divide by 9, you have 2 remainder 6. It is not 4. So we try again. Next is 16. 7 plus 16, you have 23. Divide by 9, you have 2 remainder 5. What we want is remainder 4. We try the next number, that is 15. 7 plus 15 is 22. Divide by 9, you have 2 remainder 4. So note the number that gives remainder of 4 after the addition and division. From the numbers tried, 15 is the highest value of S because it gives remainder of 4 in modulo 9. So the correct option is option C. Question 2. The sum of 11011 base 2, 11111 base 2, and 10000 base 2 is 10m, 10n, 0 in base 2. Find the values of m and n. Here what you do is to add. You add this binary number, then compare your result with this to know the position of m and n. And you know in binary number we only have 2 digits, 0 and 1. So this is the arrangement for addition. You always start from unit to the other side. So if you add here, this is the result. Okay, let me add it. 1 plus 1, you have 10 because we are dealing with base 2. So you put down 0 and you carry 1 here. If you add here, you have 11. You put that 1, you carry 1. If you add, you have 10. Put down 0, you carry 1. If you add here, you have, that is 1 plus 1 is 10. Then plus 1 again, 11. You put that 1, you carry 1. If you add in this place, you have this result. You can do it this way. Like here now, if you add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. We cannot have 4 there. So you divide 4 by 2 and you have 2 remaining. remainder 0. You put down this 0 and take 2 forward, and because it is 2, you cannot write 2 down. You divide 2 by 2 again, and you have 1 remainder 0. So you put down 0 and you take 1 forward. So this is the result you compare with n. You see that this 1 is in the position of n. That means n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, and this 0 is in the position of m. That means m is equal to 0. So m is 0 and n is 1. The correct option is option C. Question 3. A trader bought an engine for $15,000 outside Nigeria. If the exchange rate is $0.075 to 1 naira, how much did the engine cost in naira? So you start from the exchange rate. This is the exchange rate. With this exchange rate, you convert $15,000 to naira. So this is the order. You multiply by this and divide by this. That is what you have here. And if you do that, you have 200,000 naira. And the correct option is option B. Question 4. If 27 power s times 3 power 1 minus s over 9 power 2s is equal to 1, find the value of s. This is exponential equation. So this is the given equation. In order to solve, you clear the fractions by multiplying through by 9 to the power of 2s, and you have it in this form. If you check all the bases, the lowest base is 3. You express 27 in base 3, that becomes 3 cubed times, that is 3 cubed times s, 3 power 3s. This remains the same. 9 becomes 9 squared times power 2s. If you simplify the left hand side, law of indices, if you multiply the same base, their powers are added. So you have this, you add the power. If you expand this bracket here, you have 3 to the power of 4s. You can equate the same bases, and you add 3s minus s is 2s plus 1 equal to 4s. Collect like terms. Transfer these 2s to the right hand side. It becomes minus 2s. So you have 1 equal to 4s minus 2s. And you have 1 equal to 2s. Divide both sides by 2. S is equal to 1 over 2. The correct option is option B. Question 5. Find the 7th term of the sequence 2, 5, 10, 17, 16, 17, 26. Here you simply get the pattern from the few terms, and you get the 7th term. The first term is 2. For you to get the second term, you add 3 to the first term. That is 2 plus 3 equal to 5. To get the third term, you add 5 to 5. That is 10. So from here, the pattern is to add odd numbers. You add 3, you add 5. So here you've added 7. So you keep on adding odd number. So 26 is the 6th term. So you need to add 11, and you have 37 for the 6th term. Then the 7th term is now 37. After 11, the next odd number is 13. If you add it, you have 50. The correct option is option C. Examples question 6. Sorry for that. Given that log 64 base s is equal to 3. Evaluate s log 8 base 2. So we need to get s from the first equation. This is the equation in log form. If you convert it to index form, you have this result: s cubed equal to 64. We cannot get the same base, but you can get the same power by expressing 64 as 4 cubed. So if you equate the powers, you have s equal to 4. Then you come to s log 8 base 2. You replace s with 4. For us to have, log of its own base is 1. For us to have log 2 base 2, for us to get 1, you have to express 8 as 2 cubed. You see that? And by power law, this 3 comes back and multiply the log in this form. Log 2 base 2 is 1, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 times 1 is equal to 12. The correct option is C. Question 7. If 2 power n is equal to y, find 2 power bracket open 2 plus n over 3 bracket close. So this is what we can simplify looking at the problem. So from law of indices, now look at it this way. If you have this problem and you are asked to simplify, because of the same basis, you simply add. So we reverse this to this form. Okay, now from here we can get 2 power n from here if only n over 2 can be written as 1 over 3 times n. So you can factor out 1 over 3 in this form. You see that? So 2 power 2 is 4. This term is equal to y. So you have 4y to the power of 1 over 3. And that is option A. Question 8. Factorize completely 6as minus 12by minus 9ay plus 8bs. Here you factorize by grouping. You take two terms that have anything in common, you group them together. Looking at them, this is the problem now. If I should take 6as, I can pair it with minus 9ay. Then I'll have now the remaining terms, you follow alphabetical order. You already b is common between s and y. S comes first, so I will take plus 8bs before minus 12by. If you didn't do it this way, you will have problems with the order of the letters. So you group them. The first two terms, first group; last two terms, second group. From the first group, you can factor out 3a and you have 2s minus 3y. From the second group, you can factor out 4b and you have 2s minus 3y. If you take out 2s minus 3y, the common term, the remaining terms there, that is 3a plus 4b will form the other bracket. So B is the correct option. Now if you didn't see it this way, after writing down the problem, you can also take the first term and the last term since they have s in common, and you can take the third term before second term since you are following alphabetical order. So you have it in this form. So the first group is this. Ensure that you always separate the two groups with a plus sign. Take a plus sign and put these two terms in this bracket. From the first group, 2s is common. If you factor 2s out, you have 3a plus b. From the second group, you can factor out minus 3 and y in this form. Remember that any term you factored out is used to divide each term in the bracket. So if you divide minus 9ay by minus 3y, it becomes plus 3a. And if you divide minus 12by by the same minus 3 that you factored out, you have plus 4b. If you take out 3a plus 4b, the common terms, you are left with 2s and minus 3 that will form the other bracket. If you share the two answers now, the difference is the position of the bracket. Both are the same. Question 9. Find the equation whose roots are 3/4 and minus 4. Solution. Such equation is quadratic because of the two roots, and it is obtained using the simple rule of s squared minus bracket open sum of roots bracket close times s plus product of roots equal to 0. So we have the two roots through addition and the two roots being multiplied. If you open this inner bracket, plus and minus is minus, so you have s squared minus bracket open 3/4 minus 4 bracket close times s. Here 4 can cancel 4, you are left with minus 3 in bracket equal to 0. If you simplify this bracket, you have minus 13/4. So you have s squared minus bracket open minus 13/4 bracket close times s. Plus and minus here is minus, so you have minus 3 equal to 0. If you open the bracket and at the same time multiply through by 4 to clear the fractions, minus minus is plus. So 4 times s squared, that is 4s squared, multiply the middle term by 4, you are left with 13s. You multiply minus 3 by 4, you have minus 12 equal to 0. The correct option is C. Or you can do it this way. You equate each root to s in this form, because these are the answer you get if you solve the equation. All right, so here we clear this fraction first by multiplying through by 4, just this side. So you have 4s equal to 3, or s equal to minus 4. So you move the constant to the left hand side so that you can equate to 0. So if you move 3 in, it becomes 4 minus 3, then s plus 4. You merge it together and equate it to 0. By the time you expand, you have it this form. When you add like terms, you have 4s squared plus 13s minus 12 equal to 0. You have the same option C. Question 10. If m is equal to 4, 9 equal to n equal to 9, and arrow equal to 16, evaluate m over n minus one whole number 7/9 plus n over arrow. So we write out what you are asked to evaluate, and let's convert the middle term to improper fraction. So you have it in this form. If you replace m, n, and the last letter with what they stand, that is arrow, with what they stand for, you have it in this form. So this is fraction, addition, and subtraction. You find the LCM of 9 and 16. That is 144. And the rule is that you divide each denominator by the LCM, and your answer times the corresponding numerator. So you have 144 divided by 9. You have 16 times the first numerator 4 minus divide 144 by 9 again. 16 times 16. You divide 144 by 16, you have 9. Then 9 times 9. If you simplify the numerator, you have 64 minus 256 plus 81 over 144. When you add and subtract, you have minus 111 over 144. If you reduce by dividing by the common or the highest common factor, you have minus 13 minus 37 over 48, and the correct option there is option D. Option D. Okay, the highest common factor that can divide the two numbers is 3. So you have minus 37 over 48. So note that. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are viewing from YouTube, ensure you subscribe, like, and share the videos to your friends and your colleagues. If you are viewing from Facebook, follow, like the page. Also share PSM videos. Question 11. Adding 42 to a given positive number gives the same result as squaring the number. Find the number. Solution. Let the positive number be m. From the first statement, you add 42 to m, that is m plus 42, and the result is the same as squaring m, that is m squared. We have a quadratic equation. For us to solve, any of the sides needs to be 0. So let's transfer m plus 42 to the right hand side, so that you have m squared minus m minus 42 equal to 0. To factorize, look for two factors of 42 whose sum is minus 1, the coefficient of m, and the product is minus 42. Such factors are minus 7 plus 6. So you express the factors in terms of m and replace the middle term with them in this manner. The purpose is to have 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. The first 2 terms, take the first group. The last 2 terms, take the second group. From the first group, you factor out m, and you are left with m minus 7. From the second group, you factor out 6, and you have plus 6 bracket open, m minus 7 bracket close equal to 0. At this point, m minus 7 is common. If you take it out, you are left with m plus 6 that will form the second bracket. Here you equate each term to 0, that is m minus 7 equal to 0, or m plus 6 equal to 0. If you transfer the respective constant terms, you have m equal to 7 or minus 6. Since the number is positive, it must be 7. So C is the correct option. Question 12. Ada draws the graphs of y equal to s squared minus s minus 2 and y equal to 2s minus 1 on the same axis. Which of these equations is she solving? Solution. The equation she solved is the point of intersection of the curve and the line, that is s squared minus s minus 2 equal to 2s minus 1. So you transfer 2s minus 1 to the left hand side, and you have s squared minus s minus 2s minus 2. So after minus s, if you transfer this plus 2s, you have minus 2s. Then followed by minus 2, you transfer minus 1, you have plus 1 equal to 0. If you add the like terms, you have s squared minus 3s minus 1 equal to 0 as the equation that she solved. So B is the correct option. Question 13. The volume of a cone of height 3 cm is 38 whole number 1 over 2 cube centimeters. Find the radius of its base. Volume of a cone is equal to 1 over 3 pi r squared h. The volume is given as a mixed fraction. If you convert it to improper fraction, you have 77 over 2 equal to 1 over 3 times the value of pi, 22 over 7 times r squared times 3. If you reduce, these 3 can cancel 3, you are left with this. So to clear the fractions, you simply cross multiply and you have it in this form. To get r squared first, divide both sides by 2 times 22. So you have r squared equal to this, and when you divide, you have 12.25. To get r, take the square root of both sides. So r is equal to square root of 12.25, and that is 3.5 centimeters. B is the correct option. Question 14. A sector of a circle with radius 6 cm subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center. Calculate its perimeter in terms of pi. That is, pi should be included in your final answer. Perimeter of a sector is obtained using 2 times radius plus length of arc formula. So radius is 6, so you have 2 times 6 plus the angle subtended is 60 degrees over 360 degrees times 2 pi. Now you don't replace pi because pi should be in the answer. So 2 pi times 6. 2 times 6, you have 12. If you reduce this term, you have 1 over 6 times 2 pi times 6. So 6 cancel 6. You are left with 12 plus 2 pi. If you factor out 2, you have 2 bracket open 6 plus pi, which can be expressed as 2 bracket open pi plus 6. Addition is commutative, and as such 6 plus pi is the same as pi plus 6. So A is the correct option. Question 15. The dimension of a rectangular tank are 2 meters by 7 meters by 11 meters. If its volume is equal to that of a tank that looks like a cylinder of height 4 cm, calculate the base radius of that tank that looks like a cylinder. Solution. The given dimensions indicate that the rectangular tank is a cuboid. So let's get the volume of a cuboid. You equate to the volume of a cylinder, then you can get the height of cylinder. So for the rectangular tank, the volume is length times the breadth times the height, and that is 11 times 7 times 2, and that is 154 cube centimeters. The volume of the tank, that is rectangular, is equal to volume of the tank that looks like a cylinder. So you have 154 equal to pi r squared h. So you replace pi and h with their respective values. You have it in this form. To clear fraction, multiply through by 7. You have this result. To get r squared, divide both sides by 22 times 4. You have r squared equal to this. If you divide, you have 12.25. To get r, take the root of both sides. So r is equal to square root of 12.25, and that is 3.5. 3.5 is not in the option yet. What we have there is either whole numbers or mixed fractions. So let's express 3.5 as a common fraction. You have 35 over 10. If you reduce by 5, you have 7 over 2. If you convert to a mixed fraction, you have 3 whole number 1 over 2. So C is the correct option. Question 16. In the diagram, O is the center of the circle. If PQ is parallel ROS and angle ONS is equal to 140 degrees, find the size of angle POM. That is this angle. You get this angle. From the given information, angle POM is equal to angle OMN. That is alternate angles. But before that, you need to get this angle from 140 degrees. Now OM and ON are radii. That means the base angles are equal. Solution. So let's get ONM first, because it is equal to OMN. So angle ONM plus angle ONS is equal to 180 degrees. Sum of angles on a straight line. So angle ONM is equal to 180 degrees minus angle ONS, that is 140 degrees. If you subtract, you have 40 degrees. Now triangle OMN is isosceles triangle because you have equal radii. So the base angles are equal. That is 40 degrees. As I said earlier, angle POM is equal to angle OMN. That is 40 degrees. The reason is that they are alternate angles. So A is the correct option. Question 17. In the diagram, PTR is a tangent to the circle center O. If angle TON is 108 degrees, calculate the size of angle PTN. That is the whole of this angle, PTN. Now that angle is the sum of PTO and OTN or NTO. But before then, you observe that OT and ON are radar. For that reason, triangle TON is isosceles triangle, and for that the base angles are equal. Now if you add the three angles in the triangle, the sum is 180 degrees. Two of the angles are equal, that is ONT equal to OTN. So if the two angles are equal, you have 2 times one of them equal to 180 minus 108. To get any one, you divide through by 2. So the summary is this step, and that is 36 degrees. Now angle PTO is equal to 90 degrees. Radius perpendicular to a tangent, and as such angle PTN is equal to angle PTO plus angle OTN. That is 90 degrees plus 36 degrees, and you have 126 degrees. B is the correct option. Question 18. In the diagram, PQ is parallel ROT, Q arrow is parallel SU, angle PQ arrow is equal to 48 degrees, and angle arrow TS equal to S. Find the value of S. We need this angle, and this angle is equal to 48 degrees, alternate angles. Now because Q arrow is parallel SU, it means the sum of the two interior angles is equal to 180 degrees. That is 48 degrees plus S equal to 180 degrees, and S is equal to 180 degrees minus 48 degrees, and that is 132 degrees. So B is the correct option. In the diagram, O is the center of the circle, ROT is a diameter, angle PQT is 33 degrees, and angle TOS is 76 degrees. Use the diagram to answer questions 19 and 20. Question 19. Calculate the value of angle PTR. That is the whole of this angle. We have a triangle there, that is PROT is a triangle. Now this angle PROT is equal to PQR. That is 3 degrees angles in the same segment. RPT is equal to 90 degrees. Because ROT is a diameter, we have this angle as angle in a semicircle, so the value is 90 degrees. So if you add the three angles in that triangle, the sum is 180 degrees. So you have angle PTR equal to 90 degrees plus 3 degrees equal to 180 degrees. If you add it, you have it in this form. If you transfer constant term to one side, you have angle PT arrow equal to 180 degrees minus 123 degrees, and that is 57 degrees. C is the correct option. Question 20. Find the value of angle P arrow S. That is this whole angle P arrow S. We can consider P arrow TS as a quadrilateral, and we have that the sum of opposite angles are supplementary, so we need this angle. Already this angle is 57 from question 19, so let's get this angle for us to have the complete angle PTS. In triangle OTS, we can get angle OTS because OT and OS are equal radii. That means triangle OTS is isosceles triangle, so the base angles are equal. If you add the three angles, because the two of them are equal, you have 2 times one of them equal to 180 minus 76 degrees, and divide both sides by 2, you have the summary in this form, and you have 52 degrees. It follows that angle P arrow S plus angle PTS is equal to 180 degrees. You have the reason. So P arrow S is equal to PTS has 2 angles, and their sum is 57 degrees plus 52 degrees equal to 180 degrees. So you have angle P arrow S equal to 109 degrees equal P arrow S plus 109 degrees equal to 180 degrees. So angle P arrow S is equal to 180 degrees minus 109 degrees, and that is 71 degrees. B is the correct option. Petakus simplified maths. If you are watching and viewing from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like and share PSM videos. If you are viewing and watching from Facebook, follow and like the page for more updates from time to time. Also share PSM videos. The table below shows some values for a linear graph. You have the table for S and Y. Use it to answer questions 21 and 22. So you have 21. Find the gradient of the line. The gradient or slope is simply the ratio of change in y to that of s, and that change is expressed as y2 minus y1 over s2 minus s1. We have to use these two complete points. So this is s2 while this is s1. You have y2 and y1. If you change the mixed fractions to improper fractions, you have 11 over 2 for y2 minus 3 for y1 over 5 over 4 for s2 minus 0 for s1. If you subtract the numerator, you have 5 over 2 over 5 over 4. So let's divide the two terms in this form. And anytime you are dividing fraction, you are dividing the division sign, always change this to multiplication, and the fraction at the right side is inverted. So you have 5 over 2 times 4 over 5. So 5, we cancel 5. Divide 4 by 2, you have 2. So B is the correct option. Question 22. What is the value of y when m is equal to 2? So we simply use the point gradient form of solving equation of a line. Already the right hand side is gradient that we obtain as 2 earlier. You can use any of these 2 points, but 0, 3 will be easier for us. So this is why you are looking for when s is 2. So this point is y1, that is this y1, 3, and 0 is for s1. So you have y minus 3 over 2 equal to 4, equal to 2. If you clear the fractions, you have y minus 3 equal to 4. Collect like terms, y is equal to 4 plus 3, and you have 7. B is the correct option. Question 23. Given that tan s is 2 over 3, where 0 degrees less than equal to s less than equal 90 degrees, find the value of sin s. Sin is the ratio of opposite to hypotenuse, and tan is the ratio of opposite to adjacent. That means we use the information about tan to get hypotenuse for us to get the value of sin 2s. So you draw a right angle triangle. The range we have here suggests so it's an acute triangle, acute angle. One of the angle is less than 90, and that is s. By definition of tangent, this side is the opposite, this side faces the angle, the other side is adjacent, longest side is hypotenuse. By Pythagoras rule, hypotenuse is root 13. You know hypotenuse square is always the sum of squares on the other two sides. That is 2 square, that is 4, plus 3 square, 9. You have 13. So to get hypotenuse, you take root of both sides and you have root 13. Therefore, 2 sin s is equal to 2 times opposite is 2, hypotenuse is root 13. So you have 4 over root 13. This answer is not in the option. What you do next is to rationalize the denominator, and when doing that, you simply use the irrational number in the denominator to multiply both numerator and denominator in this form. So 4 times root 13, you have 4 root 13. Root 13 times root 13 is 13. This is what happens. Normally, root 13 times root 13 is root 169, and root 169 is 13. So C is the correct option. Question 24. PQRS is a square. If S is the midpoint of PQ, calculate correct to the nearest degree angle PSS. So this is a square with the edges PQRS. So this S is the midpoint halfway of PQ. So let's label this side as A and this as A as well. And you know that in a square, all the sides are equal. If P to Q is A plus A, it means P to S becomes 2A. You are asked to find angle PS as marked. This is right angle triangle. So we can use tangent because 2a is facing the needed angle and a becomes adjacent because SS is the hypotenuse. So tan angle PSS is equal to opposite over adjacent, and that is 2a over a, and that gives you 2. To get angle PSS, you take the inverse of tangent of 2 in this form, and you have to the nearest degrees 63 degrees. C is the correct option. Question 25. The angle of elevation of an aircraft from a point K on the horizontal ground is 30 degrees. If the aircraft is 800 meters from the ground, how far is it from K? So this is K on the ground level. Of course, the aircraft is somewhere in the air. Now the distance of the aircraft from the ground level is 800 meters. So this is the ground level. So you are asked to find how far is the aircraft above, okay, how far is it from K. So this is the distance you are asked to look for. The angle of elevation from K is 30 degrees. By this, what we are to use is sine, because you have opposite, you are looking for hypotenuse. Sine 30 degrees is opposite over hypotenuse, that is AG over AK, and you have 800 over D. If you make D the subject, you have D equal to 800 over sine 30 degrees. So you have 800 over sine 30 is 0.5. If you divide 800 by 0.5, you have 1,600 meters. So D is the correct option. Question 26. The population of students in a school is 810. If this is represented on a pie chart, calculate the sectorial angle for a class of 72 students. Solution. For this question, suppose we are given the sectorial angle and we are asked to find this number of students with that angle. The rule is simply sectorial angle over total angles 360 times total students, that will give us 72 degrees. But now you already have the number of students, you have total students, then find sectorial angle. So let the angle be theta over 360 degrees times 810 equal to 72. So you clear the fractions by multiplying through by 360. So you have theta times 810 equal to 72 times 360. Divide both sides by 810. So theta is equal to 72 times 360 degrees divided by 810. When you multiply and divide, you have 32 degrees. 32 degrees. So the correct option is option A, not C. 32 degrees. Question 27. The scores of 20 students in a test are as follow. You have 44, 47, 48 down to 77. Find the third quartile. The data all the scores are already arranged in ascending order, so that saves all the stress of doing arrangement. All right, now quarter is the division of any distribution into 4 equal parts. So third quarter is 3/4 of the total number or total score. From here the scores are 20. The third quarter becomes 3/4 times 20. That is the 15th position. So in the data you count in ascending order. The one that fall in the 15th position is 63. So the third quartile score is 63, and option B is correct. Question 28. The table shows distribution of the scores of some students in a test. Calculate the mean score. You have the scores 0 to 4. 2 students scored that, 5 to 9, 1 student, 10 to 14, 2 students. We have group data, and as you know, the mean score is summation Fs, that is frequency times S the scores over sum of frequency. We cannot get S directly, but we get S from the scores in the interval by using class mark or midpoint. For the class mark, you add the lower and upper limit and divide by 2. 0 plus 4 is 4. Divide by 2. And you take the average, you get 2. 5 plus 9, 14. Divide by 2, you have 7. 10 plus 14, 24. Divide by 2, you have 12. So this is how we get S from group data. The frequencies are 2, 1, 2. So you get the product of frequency and S, that is the score. 2 times 2, 4. 7 times 1, 7. 12 times 2, 24. By the formula, we need the sum of Fs, that is 35, and sum of frequencies 5. So the mean score is 35 divided by 5, and that is 7. D is the correct option. 29. The probabilities that Keba, Ebwe, and Oma will hit a target are 2/3 for Keba, 3/4 for Ebwe, and 4/5 for Oma respectively. Find the probability that only Keba will hit the target. What that means is that if Keba hits the target, it means Ebwe and Oma will miss. But the probability of them missing is not given. But you must know that probability of hitting the target and also missing it is equal to 1. So the one of missing is 1 minus the one of hitting. So probability Keba only is equal probability. You have K, that is Keba will hit the target. Then E bar means Ebwe will miss, and O bar means Oma will meet. So Keba hitting it is 2/3 times, I've already explained this. So Ebwe missing is 1 minus Ebwe is hitting it, times Oma is missing is 1 minus Oma is hitting it. So you have 2/3 times 1/4 times 1/5 when you simplify the two brackets. If you multiply, you have from here first 2 cancel this 4, it becomes 2. So 1 over 3 times 2, that is 6. And 6 times 5 is 30. So what you have there is 1 over 30. Therefore, C is the correct option. Question 30. In the diagram, VW is parallel YZ, side YWS is 6 cm, side SY is 16 cm, side YZ is 20 cm, and side SZ is 12 cm. Calculate VS. That is this side now. In that diagram, you have two triangles, that is VWS and YZS. Two triangles are equal. The two triangles are equal. That means the ratio of their sides are also equal. So you have VS over YS. The ratio of VS to YS is equal to the ratio of WS to ZS in this form. You are looking for VS, YS is 16 equal to WS is 6 and ZS is 12. If you make VS the subject, you have VS equal to 16 times 6 divided by 12, and that is 8 centimeters. D is the correct option. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are viewing from YouTube, ensure that you subscribe, like, and share PSM videos. If you are viewing from Facebook, follow and like the page. Also share PSM videos. Question 31. Tom will be 25 years old in n years time. If he is 5 years younger than Bade, find Bade's present age. You have solution. From the question, Tom will be 25 years old in n years time in the future. So Tom's present age is 25 minus n, because he's not yet in the future, and let that age be s. And if he's 5 years younger than Bade, that means Bade's present age is s plus 5. S plus 5. Now it follows that from this place, s is equal to 25 minus n, and we have s plus 5. So in place of s, we simply put 25 minus n in this form. If you do that, you have 25 plus 5 is 30 minus n, all in years. So A is the correct option. Question 32. If root 2 plus root 3 over root 3 is simplified as m plus n root 6, find the value of m plus n. So you have solution. Here, what we need to do is to rationalize the denominator. Since we have a single rational number in the denominator, you use it to multiply both numerator and denominator. The irrational number is root 3. So you multiply numerator by root 3 and denominator by root 3 as well. You apply the usual rule of expansion where you have root 3 times first term and second term. So root 3 times root 2, you have root 6, plus root 3 times root 3 is 3. Actually, you have root 9, and root 9 is 3. Root 3 in the denominator times root 3 here, you have 3. We can rearrange following this pattern by writing 3 plus root 6 over 3. The numerator, the two terms there, they are sharing 3 in common. You can break it down in this form where you have 3 over 3 plus 1 over 3 root 6. If you divide this term, you have 1 plus 1 over 3 root 6. If you compare with this, you simply have m equal to 1 and n equal to 1 over 3. Therefore, m plus n is equal to 1 plus 1 over 3, and that is one whole number, 1 over 3. So C is the correct option. Question 33. In the diagram, QT and PRO are straight lines. Angle ROS is equal to 3n minus 20 degrees. Angle SOT equal to n. Angle POT equal to 2m. Angle POL equal to m. And angle QOL is a right angle. Find the value of n. Let us work with PRO and QT as they are straight lines, and the angles on a straight line, the sum is 180. So let's start from QT. This angle here is 90 degrees. You have 90m and m, so it's easier to get m from QT before looking for n. So you have m plus 2m plus m plus 90 degrees equal to 180 degrees. You add 2m plus m, you have 3m, collect like terms, and you have 180 degrees minus 90 degrees, and 3m is equal to 90 degrees. Divide both sides by 3, m is equal to 30 degrees. Now let's look at line PRO. 2m is there, n is there, 3n minus 20 degrees is there. So you see where we have to get m from QT. So if you add all the angles on line PRO, the sum is also 180. Now m is 30, so you have 2 times 30 degrees plus 4n. If you add this equal to 180, you transfer this term, it becomes plus. So you have, okay, so we've replaced m already. So let's try and adjust that. So after adding the right hand side, you have 200 degrees. 4n is here. If you multiply this, you have 60 degrees. You also take it to the right hand side, it becomes minus 60 degrees. So 4n is equal to 140 degrees. Divide both sides by 4, n is equal to 35 degrees. So A is the correct option. Question 34. Make K the subject of the relation T equal to square root of Tk minus H over K minus H. So first thing to do is to remove the square root sign, and you achieve that by squaring both sides, or you square both sides. If you square T, you have T squared. If you square the right hand side, the square root sign disappear. You can write this over 1 and cross multiply. So you have K multiplying, T squared multiplying K minus H in bracket equal to Tk minus H times 1 remains the same. So let's open the bracket in the left hand side, and you have this result equal to right hand side. We are interested in making K, so let's transfer this term to the left hand side. It becomes minus. If you transfer this term to the right hand side, it becomes plus in this form. From the left hand side, you can factor out K, and you have bracket open, T squared minus T. You close the bracket equal to the right hand side. You can factor out H as well. So you have H bracket open, T squared minus 1 bracket close. To get K, divide both sides by T squared minus T. So you have it in this form. If you check the options, option A is correct. Assuming this stage of answer is not there, you have to continue to simplify, applying difference of two squares, factorizing, and you have this. But from the given option, you stop the calculation here. Question 35. Which of the following is used to determine the mode of a grouped data? If you are conversant with data presentation, you understand that the tool that is used to estimate mode is histogram, while OGIVE is used for median, quartile, decile, percentile. But for this question, histogram, option D is the correct option. Question 36. The area of a rhombus is 110 square centimeters. If the diagonals are 10 at 20 centimeters and 2s plus 1 centimeters long, find the value of s. Let us denote diagonal by d1 and d2. If you multiply the product of diagonal by half, is equal to the area of a rhombus. So the area is 1/2 times d1, the first diagonal, times d2, the second diagonal. The area is 110. First diagonal is 20 times second diagonal 2s plus 1. You can divide by 2. So from here, 20 divided by 2, you have 10. So you have 110 equal to 10 bracket open 2s plus 1. You can divide through by 10. Here becomes 11 equal to 2s plus 1. Collect like terms by transferring plus 1 to the left hand side. You have 11 minus 1 equal to 2s. That is 10 equal to 2s. Divide both sides by 2. S is equal to 5. So A is the correct option. Question 37. Simplify 3s minus y over sy minus 2s plus 3y over 2sy plus 1 over 2. All we have here is fraction, addition, and subtraction. To simplify, you simply find the LCM of the denominators, sy, 2sy, and 2. And that LCM is 2sy. This is what happens next. You divide the LCM by each denominator and your answer times numerator. So you have 2sy divided by sy, you have 2 times this numerator, you have it in this form. The same 2sy divided by 2sy, you have 1. And because these two terms, they are coming after a minus, do well to put them in brackets. And the same LCM 2sy divided by 2, you have sy times 1. That is the sy you have here. So you open this bracket with 2, where you have 6s minus 2y. You take this place as minus 1. For instance, minus 1 times 2s, you have minus 2s, minus 1 times plus 3y, you have minus 3y plus sy. You add like terms, 6s minus 2s, you have 4s. Now, minus 2y minus 3y, you have minus 5y. Sy has no common term, it appears the way it is. If you check the options, option D is correct. Question 38. Illustrate graphically the solution of y over 2 plus 1 over 8 greater than 5y over 8. I always prefer clearing fractions to ease the solving. To do that here, multiply through by the LCM of 8. If you multiply this term by 8, you have 4y. Multiply this term by 8, you have 1. Multiply this term by 8, you have 5y. So we have 4y plus 1 greater than 5y. Collect like terms. You transfer this term to the right hand side, it becomes minus, so you have 1 greater than 5y minus 4y, and you have 1 greater than y. Y is always, or the variable you are solving for is always on the left hand side. So what we have here after subtraction is y is greater than 1 is greater than y, because the variable needs to be on the left hand side. If you interchange the position of 1 and y, the symbol of inequality will also change. Therefore, if 1 is greater than y, then y is less than 1. Now, when you have strict sign of inequality, what you use is open dot. So all the options, they are open dot. Now, less than 1, so it means the arrow will point towards your left, where you have numbers less than 1. So A is the correct option. Question 39. A farmer uses 2/5 of his farmland to grow cassava, 1/3 of the remainder for yam, and the rest for maize. Find the part of the land used for maize. Let us assume the whole farmland to be S. Part used for cassava is 2/5 of the farmland, that is 2/5 of S. Remainder after growing cassava, that means you subtract the part used for cassava from the whole farmland. You have it in this form. Now 1/3 of the remainder is used for maize, that is 1/3 of the remainder is this. We are asked to find the part of the farmland used for maize. Let that part be M. So if you add everything together, the part used for cassava, the part used for yam, and the part used for maize, everything equal to the farmland, and that is what you have here. So you open the bracket. If you open this bracket now, you are going to have 1/3s minus 2/15s equal to M. So if you take the rest terms to the right hand side and simplify through addition, you have M equal to 2/5s. You can factor out S because we are interested in the fraction, and that fraction is 2/5. Going by the options, option B is correct. Question 40. The rate of consumption of petrol by a vehicle varies directly as the square of the distance covered. If 4 liters of petrol is consumed on a distance of 15 kilometers, how far would the vehicle go on 9 liters of petrol? This problem is from direct variation or direct proportion. So let the rate be arrow. So rate varies directly as the square of distance. This is the meaning. And you know, in variation, we always do away with the symbol of variation by introducing equality sign. And as you are doing that, you also introduce the constant of variation, k. So let's try and make k the subject. So k is equal to arrow over d square. You need to establish the formula that connects arrow and d, and that is why you are given the rate as 4 and the distance is 15. This is to enable you find k. So k is equal to arrow is 4, then d square, you have 15 square, and that is 4/225. So you establish the formula that is connecting arrow and d by simply replacing k with what it stands for here. That is arrow equal to k, 4/225 times d square. Now you are asked to find the distance. Find the distance that the vehicle can travel if the rate of consumption is 9 liters. So you have arrow is equal to 9, distance is unknown. So you come here to this formula now. You replace arrow with 9 equal to 4/225 times d square. You have to clear the fractions by multiplying through by 225. So you have 9 times 225 equal to 4d square. To get d square first, divide both sides by 4, and you have d squared equal to 9 times 225 over 4. To get d, take the root of both sides. All the numbers there are perfect number. Root of 9 is 3, root of 225 is 15, and root of 4 is 2. When you multiply, you have 45/2. By the given options, you need to express the answer in mixed fraction, and you have 22 whole number 1/2 kilometer. Going by this, option A is the correct option. Question 41. A trader bought 160 origins at 5 for 40 naira and sold them at 20 for 120 naira. Find the percentage, find the profit or loss percent. Because of the way the problem is, the quantity at which the trader bought is 5 and sold at 20, they are not the same. So we need to get the cost price for one orange as well as the selling price. So cost price 5 for 40 naira. It means cost price for one is 8 naira. Divide 40 by 5. Selling price 20 for 120 naira. Then selling price for one is 6 naira. That is 120 divided by 20. It is clear that cost price is greater than selling price. For this, we have percentage loss, and the formula is this. So you insert the selling price and cost price into the formula and simplify, and you have 25% loss. Option C is the correct option. Question 42. Describe the shaded portion in the diagram. Shaded portion is for the subset Q only, because the point of intersection of P and Q is not shaded, Q and arrow is not shaded, and the three subset is not shaded. So when Q is shaded, it means P prime and arrow prime are not shaded. So you have P prime intersection Q intersection arrow prime. A is the correct option. Question 43. Find the value of P if 1/4P plus 3Q equal to 10 and 2P minus 1/3Q equal to 7. What you have here is simultaneous linear equations. So let us solve them using elimination method. You have the two equations. Now to find P, you need to eliminate Q, because you are asked to find only P. So let's do away with Q. Now to do that, Q must have the same coefficient in both equations. Now observe very well, it is easier to get 3 from here if you multiply it by 9. For that reason, you multiply through equation 2 by 9, and you have 18P minus 3Q equal to 63. Next thing is to add equations 1 and 2. So if you add this to this, you have this result. Now if you add this and this, it becomes 0, and if you add 10 and 63, you have this result. To get P, you have to multiply through by 4 and divide by 73. So you have this expression. You can simply cancel this, and you have 4. So A is the correct option. Question 44. Calculate the mean deviation of 5, 3, 0, 7, 2, and 1. these data, they are ungrouped, so you have this formula for the mean deviation. Summation absolute value of s minus the mean over n, number of observation. So we need s bar first, and s bar is the summation of all the data divided by number of times the data occur. So if you add all the data and they are 6 in number, so you have 18 divided by 6, and that gives 3 as the mean. So if you come here, you take it data by, that is data point by data point, you have absolute value of 5 minus the mean. Sum means addition, absolute value of 3 minus the mean plus absolute value of 0 minus the mean, and so on. What you must note is that the symbol of absolute value changes all negative signs to positive, while positive remains the same. So from here, 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. The symbol make it to be positive. 7 minus 3 is 4. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. It becomes plus 1 because of the symbol of absolute value. And 1 minus 3 is minus 2. That becomes plus 2. If you add all together, divide by 6, you have 12 over 6, and that is 2. So B is the correct option. Question 45. In the diagram, the shaded part is a carpet laid in a room with dimensions 3.5 meters by 2.2 meters, leaving a margin of 0.5 meters round it. Find the area of the margin. Now, area of the margin is area of the floor minus area of carpet. The outside floor, the dimensions, you have 3.5 by 2.5. So area of floor is 3.5 times 2.2, and that is 7.2 meters. That is 7.7 meters, cubic meters. For the area of the carpet, the margin needs to be subtracted from the dimension. You know, from here to here is 3 meters, and from here to here also is 3 meters. So the margin is subtracted twice from the dimensions, and you have it in this form. After subtracting, you have 2.5 times 1.2, and that is 3 square meters. So area of margin is 7.2 minus 3, and that is 4.7 square meters. So A is the correct option. Question 46. Two angles of a pentagon are in the ratio 2:3. The others are 60 degrees each. Calculate the smaller of the two angles. Let's assume the angle to be S, and you know a pentagon has 5 angles. So two angles which are in the ratio of 2 to 3, we have actual values of 2s degree and 3s degrees respectively, if s is the angle of interest. Since you have 5 angles in a pentagon and you know 2 already, 3 are left, but the rest angles at 60 degrees each. That means 3 times 60 equal to 540. 540 degrees is the sum of angles in a pentagon. So if you add 2s plus 3s, you have 5s. Here is 180 degrees. You transfer it to the right hand side and you have 540 degrees minus 180 degrees, and you have 360 degrees. To get s, divide both sides by 5 and s is equal to 72 degrees. The smaller of the angles is the one with 2 ratio 2. So you multiply 72 degrees by 2 and you have 144 degrees. Hence, D is the correct option. Question 47. A letter is selected from the letters of the English alphabet. What is the probability that the letter selected is from the word mathematics? Solution. You must understand that every letter of mathematics appears only once in the English alphabet. You only have one M, you only have one A, and so on. So for the question, mathematics is best written in this form, that is, taking each letter once. And from this special form now, you have 8 letters, and in the English alphabet you have 26 letters. So the probability that the letter selected is from mathematics is simply 8/26. If you divide by 2, you have 4/13. Hence, C is the correct option. Question 48. In a circle of radius RCM, a chord of 16√3 cm long is 10 centimeters from the center of the circle. Find, correct to the nearest centimeter, the value of arrow. This diagram represents the information. A chord is the line that join any 2 points of a circle together. So the chord is MN, and the chord, its distance from the center is 10, and you have radius. For us to get radius, we need to get either NS or MS, or SN and SM. Here it is better that we get SN, so let's get SN. Now the whole chord MN is 16√3. Half of it, that is from S to N, is 8√3. We divide through by 2. To find the radius, SN is needed, and SN is equal to MN/2, as I've explained earlier. That is 16√3/2, and you have 8√3. To find arrow, because you have a right angle triangle, you use Pythagoras rule. The hypotenuse ON is the radius, so you have sum of squares on the other side. So ON squared is equal to OS is 10 all squared. SN is 8√3 all squared. If you square 10, you have 100, plus if you square 8, you have 64, and if you square √3, you have 3. If you multiply and add, you have 292. To get ON, take the root of both sides. So ON is equal to root of 292. So you have 17.088. to the nearest centimeter, we are interested in 17. The next digit is 0, which is rounded down to 0. So you have 17 centimeters approximately. Hence, B is the correct option. Question 49. Consider the following statements. You have S. Locally made tires are attractive, while many locally made tires do not last long. Denoting locally made, that is manufactured tires, by M, and attractive tires by arrow, and long lasting tires by L. Which of these Venn diagrams illustrate the statement? Now from the question, locally manufactured tires is contained in both statements. That means they have point of intersection with M. The first statement, locally made tires are there. The second statement, locally made tires are also there. Now, before you can buy what is attractive, you find out that that thing is also, the thing is okay. It lasts long to some extent. Putting all of these together, the correct option is option A. Question 50, you have a diagram. In the diagram, OS bisects angle YSZ. That is this angle. OZ bisects angle YZS. That is this angle. If angle SYZ is 68 degrees, calculate the value of angle SOZ. That is this value here. The diagram, we need to reproduce it and indicate some angle. So let's represent angle SOZ by P. Now, since OS bisects angle YSZ, so these two angles, they are equal. You should two. The angle now is 1, but divided into 2. So you have MN, MM, and NN for the other side. Considering the whole triangle, triangle SYZ, the sum of angles is 180. So angle YSZ is 2M plus angle YZS is 2N plus angle SYZ 68 degrees equal to 180 degrees. From here, can factor out 2, and you have 2 equal to M plus N bracket close equal to plus 68 degrees equal to 180 degrees. Let's call that equation 1. In triangle SOZ, you just have M here. This M plus P plus this N is equal to 180. Already we can write an expression for M plus P in what we have here. So we have to transfer P to the right hand side. So you have M plus N equal to 180 degrees minus P. So let's call that equation 3, while this is equation 2. Now equation 1 and 2, they have M plus N in common. So you have to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So this is equation 1. And equation 3, you have M plus N equal to 180 degrees minus P in this form. So you have 2 bracket open, 180 degrees minus p bracket close plus 68 degrees equal to 180 degrees. You open the bracket and you have this expression. Now let's collect like terms. The angle needs to be positive, so let's transfer this term to the right hand side. It becomes positive, and you transfer 180 to the left hand side, and you have 360 degrees plus 68 degrees minus 180 degrees equal to 2p. If you add and subtract, you have 248 degrees equal to 2p. Divide both sides by 2. P is equal to 248 degrees divided by 2, and that is 124 degrees. Hence, angle SOZ that is equal to P is 124 degrees. By this, option D is the correct option. Petakus simplified maths. If you are viewing and watching from YouTube, ensure that you subscribe, like and share PSM video. If you are viewing from Facebook, follow and like the page. Also share PSM videos. There is every need for you to be safe, so that your life will not be in crisis. And to do that, you give your life to the one that can save you, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ, and confess him as your Lord and personal Savior every day of your life. If you are saved already, congratulations. Live righteously and be prepared, because on the last day some will be taken and some will be left. Take good care of yourself, stay out of trouble, study your books, do the needful at all times, flee every appearance of evil, don't defraud others to make money, use your hands and your brain to work genuinely and legally, and the Lord will bless you. Goodbye and stay tuned.